As if interviewing wasn't bad enough as it is, you'll often get asked a handful of tough questions that can make you freeze on the spot and break out into a sweat. Although this can be terrifying, there's no need to panic. We'll talk you through the hardest interview questions with suggestions on how to answer them to ensure that you are fully prepared. Number 1. How would you describe yourself in one word? This question is usually asked to judge if you'll be a good culture fit, but it's one that many candidates find themselves stumbling across. You don't want to sound like you're blowing your own trumpet, but you also want to leave a lasting impression, which can be extremely difficult to do through a single word. To answer this question successfully, choose a word that relates to the role that you're applying for. So let's say you're a graphic designer. You could say that you're creative. Whereas if you're applying for an accounting role, organized could be a good explanation. Number 2, how do you define success? This question gives the interviewer an insight into what you value and what keeps you motivated. It also shows whether you're a team player or are someone who wants to succeed on their own. Most managers define success as a team effort, rather than a personal one. So make sure this comes across when providing your answer. Number 3, have you ever been asked to compromise your integrity by your supervisor or colleague? This challenging question is asked to identify how you handle confidential information and also to evaluate your moral compass. If you've never been in a situation as such, answer hypothetically by saying that you wouldn't be happy to take part in something that goes against personal and company morals. Number 4, what would you do if you found out your best friend at work was stealing? Your loyalty and integrity will be put to the test with this question. The hiring manager wants to see if you will be loyal to the company. So when answering, let them know that if your friend stole something that would put the company and your job at risk, then you would have no choice but to turn them in. Number 5, tell me about a time when you had to deliver some bad news. Delivering bad news to a coworker, employee, or manager can be tough, which is why you need to show the utmost compassion and understanding. If you don't have a good example to offer, describe how you would plan your delivery and present your answer tactfully in a theoretical scenario. Number 6, how did you make time for this interview? Where does your boss think you are right now? Like many other job seekers, you've probably pulled a sickie to squeeze in your interview. That said, hiring managers want to see that your priorities are in the right place. So, instead of saying that you've lied, explain that you're using personal time for this interview. Number 7, are you the type of person who checks email during your vacation? This question is tricky because you want to show them that you'll be dedicated to the job, but also understand the importance of work-life balance. If you are the type of person to check your emails for an emergency, then let the hiring manager know. But if you aren't, explain how you will have prepared everything for your absence, so there will be no need for you to check your emails. Number 8, what didn't you like about your last job? Chances are there's a lot that you don't like about your current role, which is why you're looking for a new one. But this isn't a therapy session for you to unreel everything that drove you to the breaking point. So instead of bad-mouthing your previous or current employer, you could explain how the lack of progression was a big reason for you to move on. Number 9, tell me about a time you disagreed with company policy. Hiring managers ask this question to see if you're going to be a troublesome employee. So if you have genuinely disagreed with a company policy before, make sure to explain why. You could explain how you speaking up helped to change the policy and made it a better working environment. Number 10, how do you deal with remarks? If you work in a creative role, it's likely that you'll be handled remarks on a daily basis. These remarks can often be subjective and based on personal opinion. So when answering this question, explain how you're open to constructive criticism, but will not be a pushover who fixes something that isn't broken. Now that you know how to tackle these hard interview questions, you're well on your way to interview success. But if you're still worried and need some more help, visit careeraddict.com for more advice. And don't forget to like the video and click on the subscribe button below to get more insightful tips.